Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are now on version 3.3 Libra, bringing with it AI improvements, which will apparently make the AI a lot better, particularly at economy in the mid to late game. It's also got performance improvements, which is nice. That's fantastic. Megacorps can do permanent employment. We don't really care about that. The Unity rework, influence changes, and planetary ascensions are in. Now, I've not seen anything saying this is incompatible with save games, and we've loaded it up successfully in our game here. Now, I have, if we go into our load game here, I have made a post 3.3 save, so this is a 3.2 save here that is untouched. If we have to revert, we can, but I don't think we'll have to. Now, there have been some pretty major changes, no doubt about that. If I hop over to Steam here, there's a couple of very important things. Planetary decisions that were formerly paid in influence are now in Unity. Resettlement of pops is now in Unity. And manipulation of internal factions and factions are now providing Unity. Now, that's going to make a big difference in the early game. At this point, that's not going to be that big of a deal. And then there's planetary ascensions. So you'll notice, first off, we've got unemployed pops, and I think they rebalanced some of the job numbers here. I'm also noting bureaucrats are Unity now. There is no such concept as an admin cap anymore. That is an incredibly big deal. Okay, so with that being the case, that is enormous. Now, there's these planetary ascensions here. Those cost Unity, and they increase, or unlocking all ascension perks increases the cap by 4. What is the actual cap, though? I don't know. We'll find out, I suppose. So we're at minus a lot of amenities here, for sure. Now, because there's no such thing as admin cap anymore, that just straight up increases our technology cost and tradition adoption cost. It's a little weird to upgrade like this midstream, but we'll make the pivot and we'll see how this goes. If we have to revert, we can, but there's a lot of jobs that we need to put in. No doubt about that. So this tech world requires 3 jobs, and that'll be fine. Also notice, we're pretty negative on our volatile motes, exotic gases, and nanites from where we were before. I actually want to tick this forward to the month tick here. So let's just go ahead and... It hasn't ticked yet. There we go. So much for this being so much better, but maybe the AI is working its way through all of these issues as well. Oh, look at that. It recalculated a bunch of those jobs. Okay, so this one doesn't actually have to happen. And there's the month tick. Okay. So with that recalculating, we're still very negative on volatile motes, exotic gases, and nanites. Cool. We're incredibly negative on consumer goods and a little negative on food. Okay. So that's all something that we should definitely be concerned about, but those jobs recalculated nicely. We're very glad about that. And we've also got some situations going on over here, of course. We're mostly just getting everything back constructed. So that's all fine. Yeah, no major issues here. We've got civilian fabricators coming in. We are incredibly negative on consumer goods. I want to check, did they change the edicts? This is only a 10% consumer goods upkeep. Wasn't it 25 before? It's also way cheaper. Wow, look at how cheap all this is. There's no such thing as an edict cap anymore. This is our edicts fund. A separate and static pool of Unity for edicts upkeep. If upkeep exceeds the size of the fund, regular Unity will also be used. Well, we're making over 1,000 Unity per month right now, and looking at these numbers, that's a crazy amount of Unity. So, yeah, we're probably... Well, this would be upkeep. And how much is the upkeep per month? 1,300. Got it. Interesting. So there's worker pop resource output, but this would reduce the happiness. I'm not sure if that's a worthwhile trade right now. Okay, so right now we have 165 available edicts fund. So we're going to be spending a lot right now on that, and look at how cheap all of these are nowadays. That's insane. Or are these the monthly cost? Yeah, these are the monthly cost now. There's no such thing as edict duration anymore. Got it. That explains what's going on here. Interesting. That's very interesting. Let's also turn on industrial subsidies and see what happens with our Unity. So we're going to take this to a month tick here and see what our Unity's at. That should be interesting to find out. Okay, 85. That's not awful. I think we'll accept that. So we're at minus 277 consumer goods, minus 88 food. We obviously need to do something about those consumer goods. We're at 237 on energy credits right now. Okay. So 2.1k alloys, we're definitely going to need to reinforce our fleets. They've not really changed the construction costs here, so we're pretty concerned about our situation on the exotic goods front, for sure. That is absolutely something that we are incredibly concerned about. And we've got some construction going on, of course. This construction ship isn't doing anything. We're going to have it build a research station, and then we're going to take it over to, like... Oh, there is this habitat over here. We should colonize this right now. We are lacking in the alloys. We'll have to wait for the month tick. So we're going to have this come out over to Femisto, and it's going to build... Is this still costing influence? It is. Okay, so it's going to build a habitat out here once we can. We're, of course, going to colonize over here. There was no way we were not going to do that. I had just forgotten. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Perfect. Get that going. And we need to wait one more month tick before we can queue up the habitat out here. Because what we need is to make a huge amount of volatile motes, exotic gases, and nanites. So that's going to have to be something that we keep up with. I do want to check in on how that planetary ascension system works. That is a very, very interesting thing to me. And we'll just queue that up. Okay. So if we were to do, say, a planetary ascension on our capital, that will increase our planetary designation effects and reduce our planetary empire sprawl. That's pretty good. Oh, I wanted to check. These costs are fairly high. So yeah, we want to reduce our empire sprawl, and the only way we can really do that now that bureaucrats are no longer used for admin cap, the only way that we can do that now is via planetary ascensions. So how many tiers are available here, and how long does this actually take? It's instant. Okay. It's fairly expensive. Interesting. That's quite expensive. So in that case, we should back off on one of our edicts, and what edict do we want to back off on? Well, we're okay with our recycling campaign being where it's at. Exotic gases for shield boost, we can actually turn off. Same with volatile ammunition and nanite actuators right now. That will help our situation here. We can, at this rate, I wonder if those take instant effect. If they do, I'm going to have a problem with it. Let's do a test here. Okay, so the Bronzite Suphite is fully maxed out, correct? At 104k? No, it's not. The Topaz is fully maxed out at 108. Okay, so we're going to tick forward here. We're going to allow a month tick to happen. I'm just doing some testing here for optimization of... You can see we haven't had an update here yet. So we're going to tick forward a month tick and see what happens. Do we lose the power on the month tick? Boy, this is feeling a lot slower, actually. It's supposed to be performance improvements, but I'm not convinced that it is. Okay, well, we're going to head on forward here. So there's the month tick. So the change happened immediately. Okay, let's hop into the edicts. We're at 15 volatile motes right now. So we turn on volatile ammunition, we're lacking 3. So we pay for it instantly then. Like, if we were to, say, turn on the exotic gases for shield boost, we have more exotic gases. So we're at 124, we turn that on, and we're still at 124. The topaz is up to 114, so that happened instantly. We tick a day, we're still at 124. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So the way that this works, the optimal way to do this is to turn it on right before the battle, turn it off immediately after the battle, and hope that there's no month tick in between. If you do that, then you get all these for free. I can't say I'm a huge fan of that. I gotta admit, that's not my favorite thing. Okay, well, let's proceed for now. Hopefully they'll put a cooldown on that, because that's absurd. It shouldn't take instant effect, but it absolutely does. So we're going to need more nanites if we want to get nanite actuators because of the upkeep. So that's going to be an important thing. We're going to keep nanite actuators active, though, and the others, I mean, we do still need more volatile motes and exotic gases, but we're actually not that concerned about them. And it's kind of awkward. We definitely need to put in some civilian industries on this tech world, or rather this forge world. This forge world here, we're going to put in civilian fabricators, and we're just trying to offset our consumer goods. I think this is just a change that happened with the patch, so we'll just get that back on track. Now, this admin office is pointless here. We're going to replace that with the civilian industry. The reason I'm not going to replace it with like a chemical plant or a nanite foundry is because of jobs. The number of jobs wouldn't add up, so that'll be fine. Okay. This is certainly interesting. No doubt about that. Oh, I wanted to back off on one of our edicts up here, and the one I want to back off on right now is actually research subsidies. We are getting that via our nanite actuators, so that should be okay. Yeah, these have an initial cost plus an upkeep. So we back off that, and that should, in theory, get us 558 more per month. In theory. So how much unity are we actually getting? Let's see on this month tick. Yeah, that's about what was expected. So that'll be fine. I mean, unity is very important under this current paradigm. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. We also want to get civilian replicomplexes over here. Help offset some of these consumer good issues. That'll be fine. And the Unbidden are just kind of chilling for right now, and we're pretty happy about that. They are very upset about what we did to dim their location over there. And I mean, there is this situation going on over this way. But for now, I'm reasonably content. I want to do some exploration of these new features, as well as checking out some of our economic issues. I want to get these fixed. That would be nice. So we're going to have a new station coming online fairly soon. That'll be good. 30,000. So, I mean, now that I know that these are monthly costs instead of upfront, it makes more sense now, what they've done here, that's for sure. We are going to need more nanites. And it is possible... Oh, we need housing here. Okay, we will go ahead and put in a city district. I think having this be a unification center is still fine. We are, after all, going to need the unity, but we're going to spend that unity. I mean, bureaucrats still affect our empire sprawl, right? Because they give us unity, which allows us to bump up these ascension tiers. I'm wondering just how many tier caps there are, because unlocking all perks increases the cap by an additional 4, but this doesn't appear to say what the actual cap, like the base cap is. So that's interesting. This industrial world requires 4 jobs, and we're going to put in civilian fabricators to satisfy that. That will be fine. This forge world requires 1 job, civilian replicomplexes. Excellent. This refinery world requires nothing. I guess there was a recalculation there. That'll be fine. Excellent. Yeah, this is all looking fairly manageable. We're definitely seeing a number of unbidden fleets up over here, but we don't care. Like, we don't care that the Natraxi are taking this area right now. It's a little upsetting, but no big deal. We are currently out of volatile motes. We are going to, of course, have to buy in 100 of those. We're only losing 1 per month, so that's not a huge deal. This is an agri world here, and we will absolutely put in an agriculture district to offset both food and consumer goods. So that is excellent. Absolutely fantastic. It also seems like our growth is a little bit faster, doesn't it? I don't know, maybe that's not true. We're out of consumer goods, and we'll buy in a bunch of consumer goods. I mean, this isn't going to last us that long, but there we go. Excellent. We are working on offsetting our consumer goods shortage, and it's getting better, although our food shortage is now way, way worse. And our consumer goods shortage has gotten worse as well. I think we're having continual reshufflings of jobs. I think that's what's happening here. Wonder what they're going to do with that gateway. What's their plan? Not sure. Are they going to use the gateway? No, they're not going to use the gateway. Okay, good. So we don't really care about what the Unbidden are doing right now. We've bloodied their nose, and we're using that time to get a bit caught up on the new mechanics, and, of course, get our worlds a little set up, because this is clearly set up for our empires to have been doing this the whole time, Ascension tiers. That's definitely not something that we've been doing. So, yeah, that's something we'll need to do. Oh, admin parks now have an upgrade as well. Ah, I see. Right. They've always used consumer goods, but they used to turn it into admin cap. Now they turn consumer goods into Unity. That actually makes sense on what's going on here then. Fantastic. This is set up as a unification station, and for the moment, I'm actually going to... We're solid on nanites, even with the Edict. The edicts all went away. That's weird. So we turn on nanite actuators. We turn on our farming and industrial and forge subsidies. And that's all we want for now. So that'll do. And I'm wondering if there are caps to, or techs rather, to increase the, rather than being edict duration, I wonder if they will reduce the edict upkeep. That would be largely the same sort of scenario, right? So that would be interesting. I do want to put in some moat fabrication over here, so nanite transmuters. Well, actually, no, that's the opposite. I want to synthesize nanites. Do we not have the tech for that? I guess we don't. Auto-curating vaults are interesting. because those now give you the admin output. So that's something that we'll want to put in on all of our unification centers. Fascinating. For now, I think we'll just put in chemical plants over here, and that'll do. Okay, so unification centers, or stations even, like this one, should get a... Well, we might not be able to make an auto-curating vault here. Yeah, that's not a thing that you can... Oh, no, it's right here. I'm a moron. We'll go ahead and put that in. That does not require a job. So, on all of our unification centers, like this one, we would replace this energy grid with an auto-curating vault. Okay, and then there's this, which is a station, but that's okay. We put in the auto-curating vault. That, of course, I think requires a particular upgrade of the administration. Yeah, Habitat Control Center. That'll be fine. So we'll continue to go through here, and this unification center, we can go ahead and put in... this also requires an upgrade. Okay, we can't do that yet. Sounds good. This is a Forge world here. I'm definitely intrigued by what caused the edicts to be dropped. They're supposed to last until canceled. We ran out of consumer goods, though, and I'm wondering if that was maybe what happened. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on that. Maybe let that happen again and see if it goes away again. That would be interesting. For now, of course, we do need to put in an industrial district here. We are lacking in the moats for alloy nanoplants, and that's okay for right now. We'll go ahead and put in that industrial district. And let's go ahead and reinforce the majority of our fleet here. This is not all of it. We still need 20,000 more in terms of alloys, so that'll be fine. Okay, well, this is certainly some interesting stuff. No doubt about it. We are... Is there a way to see how much admin or how much empire sprawl is caused by a particular planet? It's not in the planet production here. And we're also out of volatile motes again. So we'll go ahead and buy in a few of those. There we go. And did that get rid of our edicts? Actually, it did. Oh, I don't like that. Running out of any resource gets rid of your edicts, even if you're not using that resource. Oh, I hope they fix that. That's annoying. Okay. Farming, industrial, and forge. There we go. Yikes. That and the fact that I hope they put a cooldown on the battle ones, because as it is, you just up them right before the battle, do the battle, and then get rid of them and not have to pay for them. I'm not a huge fan of that. A little too much micro for me. I'd rather have to make a long-term decision on it. However, we are still working on upgrading this Star Fortress over here. And we will continue to work on getting our fleets reinforced. Those will be done soon enough. Our deficit of food and our deficit of consumer goods will be done fairly soon. I'm definitely feeling more population growth. I think that's a thing. I haven't done a close read of the patch notes, so that's probably something that I should do. But yeah, that's definitely interesting, the changes that they've made here. So the bureaucrats still affect your empire size, right? And everyone in the galaxy should be having a bit of a stall out of their technology right now because none of them have these ascension tiers. So that'll be fine. On this next month tick, I am expecting that we can go to tier 2. Yes. Okay, so that increases planetary designation effects by 50%. Of course, you can't designate your capital. There we go. It also reduces the empire sprawl by 10%. And that's why I'm wondering, is there a way to see how much empire sprawl you're actually getting from this world? I don't know. If there is something here, I'm not seeing it. Maybe I'm just blind. However, this is a tech world, and on non-capital worlds, I feel like we're better off to do this because of the planetary designation effects. So that will reduce the upkeep of researchers. That's consumer goods. So that's good. We're going to go ahead and do that. And that will reduce our Empire Sprawl a little bit. We were at 1770 before. I think it'll go down on the month tick. It'll update. We'll find out. While we're waiting on that, though, it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue trying to bring down our Empire Sprawl a bit. We're going to need to focus in on getting our Unity up, and that probably means as soon as we can, we're going to ditch the farming and industrial subsidies. That'll be a big deal. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and maybe we weren't at 1770 before, because I think the month tick happened. But let's just make sure this month tick goes through. Yeah, okay. So I think that happened instantly, and I just didn't notice. I will see you all next time.